So I had a request, and I get this request a lot, so I've made several videos on the topic. How do you knap landscape stones? These are all landscape stones you find at landscape supply yards. Sometimes they call it bull gravel, sometimes they call it river stones, sometimes they call it agates or something like that. Where do you get them? Besides steakhouse, landscaping, some Walmarts, outside sitting at a picnic area at a hotel. No, you get these at landscape supply yards. Okay? If you want to be safe and not have to respond to the authorities, so to speak. Anyway, why do I get requests to do the landscape stones? I think it's because you guys are not abusing these enough, not hitting them hard enough in the correct way. I'm using the term abuse because you really got to be aggressive with these. I think these are not heat treated. If I find one in here that is heat treated, I will not knap it. Why? Because you don't want to see that. Because knapping heat treated stuff is exponentially easier. Okay, so with all that said, and everyone's placed their bets as to when I'll start knapping, I am going to start knapping. And I'm going to do some philosophizing. But first, I'm going to do some testing. What is this? It is not some weird thing that has aluminum caps. This is solid aluminum. 1.5 inch diameter. I used to have the number written on here, but I think it's 6061 aluminum. I think that's a number. I can't be sure. I'm a numbers guy, but I can't remember numbers. All right? So it's aluminum, solid aluminum bar. You get it on eBay. That's where I get mine, because they sell cutoffs. Cut-offs. C-U-T-O-F-F. Cutoffs. From industry. And you can get them for cheap, comparatively speaking. All right. Everyone asks me about that. Or if this doesn't work, I use this. This is a used secondhand thrift store hammer with the handle cut shorter, so I can take it in the field without having a big huge stick sticking out of my pocket. Right? I can just put it in my pocket. This will break up the garden variety, so to speak, pun intended, landscape stone, no matter how hard it is. But I would start with this. Okay? So here we go. Who bet on 30 minutes and 15 seconds? If you did, you won. Yeah. Go see your bookie. You won it. Now, you skin off the outside with some of the flakes, right? You want to keep these outside ones. I just skinned off 2. These are called cortical flakes in the archaeology milieu, world, sphere, or clique. Okay? Cortical flakes. Just under the cortex is the best material. In case you didn't know, on a lot of these. All right? Try to stop sounding like a wise guy. Anyway, you want those. Yeah, but you want the big, long biface out of this. You don't want those. Those are wimpies, cruddies. No, those are good. Those are very good. That's a little bit small. But these are the ones that I like to heat treat. This size, although you can heat treat this. Some of you guys in the comments will mention, and it's fine. Post your anecdotes. See, I not only heat treat this size, but I also heat treat this size, and I have no problems. No problems. Yeah. They say it that way too. Problem. No problem. Fine. Let us know. But don't just say you don't have no problems. Give us your technique. And when I say that, all of a sudden, there's no comments on it. Because they don't want to give up their technique. No. Just in case they might be able to market their stone. Anyway. Skin off and save the cortical flakes. Step 1. Step 2. Well, I should say step 1 is the tool that you use to flake. Step 1, choose the right tool. Step 2, skin off the top. Skin off the flakes from the surface of these things. Save them separately so you know which ones are which. Yeah, you know which ones are cortical flakes because of the cortex. Okay, fine. These are all cortical flakes, but this has no cortex except for a little bitty bit. So you may not know. You may confuse them. Okay, so let's see. What else can I do? So I got what? 1, 2 steps so far. I'm skinning off these cortical flakes. This is not heat treat. No, because this is very tough. I can already tell. Why? Because I've been doing it for a while. Some of you are saying, ooh, that naps so nicely. Yeah, well, if I were to hand this to you, Mr. Nicely, you would not get these results. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. It takes experience to be able to skin these. You will just get a bunch of crushed edges. Mr. Nicely will get crushed edges. Crushed platforms. And you won't be able to skin this off. You won't be able to skin these off. Right? That's the difference. You have to learn to skin them off. There's a learning curve to getting these usable cortical flakes. Okay? Usable cortical flakes. And if you end up with a biface, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky, or consider yourself a proud representative of your Neanderthal heritage, if you have some, because this is what Neanderthals did too. Not just modern humans, not just Homo sapiens sapien, but Homo sapien neanderthalis. They would do this. But just pretend that it's mainly associated with Neanderthals, okay? Okay. So this is what you do. Slowly, very patiently, but very aggressively. If you're not getting these results, you've got to be hitting a lot harder. Higher up, harder. And it works well sometimes if you hit on the slide. This one is hard to hit on the slide, right? I usually gouge with this one. It just smashes right through. You get a distinct cone, Hertzian cone, and a bulb of percussion with this, with a gouging strike, with a small surface area gouging without sliding. There is some sliding, but it's minimal. This, on the other hand, has a flat surface. I am not smacking. I'm not doing a, what they call a belly flop onto the surface of the stone like you do on the surface of water. Belly flop, kapow. No, this is not a belly flop. This is almost like barefoot water skiing, where you slide on the surface. You're sliding on the surface. All right? It's a bit of a slide. It's a glancing blow, in other words. Why a glancing blow? Glancing blows give you a flattened bulb of percussion. Flattened, F-L-A-T-T-E-N-E-D. Flattened bulb of percussion. Okay, so here we go. Let me see if I can get a good cortical flake. Yeah. It would have been okay if it didn't break up, but it broke up, so it's not okay. Just a bunch of junkies now. What is that? Cruddies, just a bunch of cruddies. Although some of these edges that are almost 90 degrees, they're almost 90 degrees. Those are good for shaving wood or bone. Yeah. These edges that are almost 90, beautiful for shaving wood and bone, antler. Yeah. You guys that are carpenters and woodworkers, you know how valuable it is to have a scraper. Those are scrapers right there. Amazing results. You don't even need sandpaper if the scraper is of good quality. And this is of good quality because it's a hard, very tough stone. Okay? All right. So look how it looks. And remember this, I'm going to come back to this. Examine how it looks. I'm giving clues as to the technique that I'm using. I also mentioned Neanderthals. Keep that in mind because I will describe this technique to you in other ways. In another way. There's a name for it. Oh yes, this is not my technique. Just the technique I use. Now I missed. I was supposed to, instead of hitting there, I was supposed to hit there. But it looks like I did hit there because there's some depositional residue. See that depositional residue? There's some here too. That means I hit both those areas, but it snapped here instead. Okay? The tension broke here before it broke there, so it just yielded in that spot. That's still a good cortical flake, so I like it. I'm going to heat treat it. Yeah. When I get around to it. Okay. I can still run this ridge if I focus. Yeah. Can't hit it till I focus. Really? Really? You're going looking through the viewfinder? No, I'm not. I just want you to see. Yeah, I hit high enough. It just didn't go very far. All right, let's see. What else can I do? Yeah, a little bitty flake. It's a little cruddy, but it's not too cruddy. I can use it. Yeah. There, that was good. I hit kind of high up. There's some depositional residue of the aluminum. See that? It slid though. It was sliding. So, where is the bulb of percussion? It's very flat. Because it was a slide. A sliding hit. Sliding blow. Alright, so here we go. Let me see. One more step. I've got the edges all ziggity zaggity. Can I actually do something else with this? Let me see. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Can I make a biface out of it? Maybe, maybe not. It's a sport. There's some risk involved. Yes, there's some risk involved. There was some quartzite right there. So the guys that asked this question, how do you knap these landscape stones? They've seen a half a dozen knappers knap dozens of times on these kinds of things, and they still don't have results themselves. They can't do it. So they're thinking they're missing something very elementary, something basic and fundamental, something that's just obvious but not seen. What is it? It must be something just something simple. Something that requires one word explanation. That's what I've been doing wrong. Quite possibly, It's quite possible that that's the case. But it's also quite possible that you are missing a whole how should I say it? A whole group of concepts, not just one. I'll try to mention as many things as I can. All right, here we go. Yeah. See, newbies get this kind of stuff. Experienced guys get that stuff too. I'm kind of an experienced guy. Kind of. All right. I'm trying to flatten this out. So just bear with me. Now this is kind of a cortical flake, but it's not really that good. But it can be heat treated, but I'm going to stick it over in the other pile. All right, so I got to flatten this somehow, because it's not really usable unless it's flat. Right. Yeah, I don't want to lose any width. I mean, I don't want to lose any length, because that's where the money is, so to speak. So I don't want to lose length. I'm gonna have to lose a little bit, just to clean this up. And then I got to remove the turtle back. I might have to lose length in the removal of the turtle back. Now some of you wise guys in the background are going, did he mention what it's called yet? Did he mention it? No, I haven't mentioned it yet. I haven't mentioned what this technique is called yet. I will. Just hold on. Nice. Getting flatter. This is not following the technique exactly, but it's close. At this point, I'm just trying to biface it. I may not be able to get a large flake to flatten it with one large flake. I may have to just whittle it down. Yeah. I think one more strike and it'll be a biface. And I'll tell you what it is. All right. This is pretty much a biface. It still has a bit of a turtleback, but if you heat this, that's easily removed, relatively speaking. Right now my wrist is feeling it, because this is the kind of work that ruins the wrists. All right, so what is the technique? What is it? Okay. If you haven't learned it by now, I will spell it out for you. Levallois. Levallois, or Levallois, or Levallois, however you want to pronounce it. Okay? Normally it's pronounced like Levallois. Okay? Levallois. But I say Levallois, like the French. Okay? That's what I did. So remember, landscape stone, Levallois. Landscape stone, Levallois. Okay? That's it. End of video. That's enough. Right? No, do like 20 more, because I still don't get it. I still don't get I still don't get the la blah, blah. I don't get it. Okay, I'll do some more. Ooh, this is better quality stuff. I don't know if I want to demonstrate this. Yeah, this is an amoeba chert high quality raw. HQR, this is what I use for my designations. So what I do is I do this. This is what I do. I'll do it. I do what I do. HQR. That way, I go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just smashed into you without respect. My apologies. Yes, you are such high quality. No kidding. I am not kidding. I will be very respectful for that piece, to that piece. Okay? All right. Let's get one that doesn't demand as much respect as that one. All right, here we go. Ooh, this might be a good candidate for beating the living daylights out of it. Okay. It's got cortex that's not cooperative. Let's see. Let's just split it in half, man. Bipolar it. Bipolar it. Yeah. That hurt my hand. If I could bipolar it, I would bipolar it, but I don't have it set up with an anvil. Yep, use a stone anvil with another stone and you crack these things in half. That's what the bipolar flint knapping is. Yeah, it has nothing to do with people who are mentally unstable flint knapping. No, that's not it. Bipolar means there's two impact points, below and above, and the shear forces split it. Okay? Okay. Kind of sort of like that, but like in the middle. And this is raw. It naps better when heated, in my experience, but it can be napped raw as well. Now this is a cortical flake. It can benefit from heat, so it goes in the cortical flake pile. Now from here, do you make bifaces out of this? Can I make bifaces out of it? I can, but they'll be small. There's no way around the physics, you know? There's no way around the physics. It's going to be small. Now, how do I do the la 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 la? How do I do the la 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 technique on this? The la 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 technique on this particular piece, I don't. Why? Because by the time I zigzag all around, I'm going to get a little walnut. I always say walnut instead of almond. I'm going to get a little almond. So what you do with this kind of core is you just knock flakes off that are as long as possible, not zigzag around the outside. So is that an exception to my rule of landscape la la la? Yes. What good is my advice then? Well, just take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, get some salt. That's all. But I want to see you do the la 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 on this. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, fine. We're almost out of time. Running out of time. Quick. No pressure. No pressure at all. No pressure at all. I'm attempting to do the la 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 technique on this little stone. I'm going to end up with a lot of cruddies and maybe a small biface. Or should I move on to another piece? I should finish what I start. There it is. That solved that problem because now I can't really demonstrate it well. I'll just heat treat this and this. Maybe not that, but this can be heat treated and I can knock off little flakes here and there and not worry about bifacing this. It's too small. Okay? Even for me, it's too small. So we got some time. Let's dig into this one, which probably going to make my wrist have a stern tucking with me tonight. Okay? Oh yeah, typical bull gravel on this one. Although this cortical flake is nice. All right, let's see. What else can we do? Well, we got to get rid of the lumps. If we can follow a ridge, it'd be good. Is that a cortical flake? Yes. Are you going to do the la la la? I'm going to try. Okay. I am going to try. Sometimes the end pops off when you do this. I will try not to make the end pop off. Try. I haven't used the hammer yet. The hammer is usually when the end starts popping off. I'm hitting this on the slide, so it's a little more gentle, more genteel. So, did the Neanderthals use these rocks on the slide, these hammerstones that they were hitting with? Because they were hitting with hammerstones, most likely. I think so, yeah. I think they were probably smart enough eventually to start hitting on the slide, if not right away. Although I have not examined, I can't remember what Neanderthal hammerstones look like. Some of you guys out there know. I forgot. If they have flat spots on them, yeah, they were using it for the slide technique. Most likely, but not guaranteed. Yeah, good cortical. Good cortical flake. I like them. Yeah, and I sort through all these down here. I got a bunches and bunches down there. Bunches of nasties down there. I sort through those and I pick out the ones I like. All right, we got like two minutes. And this is what you do at the quarry. You just quickly blast through a bunch of these and bring some of it home. Did the Neanderthals abrade stuff? I don't know. I'm trying to think. If I say no, I'd be wrong, right? Because there probably are exceptions. But I think for the most part, it was just hammerstone with not much abrading. All right. So this is kind of like a preferential Levallois flake, kind of, sort of, because I took off the bulk of that turtleback with a large flake. Okay, so that's what I was trying to do on this one. In the later stages, if you do it in the later stages, that's the Levallois technique. If you do it in the initial stages, it's just random, you know, because I didn't finish zigzagging the edges. Although you could probably do it more than one time. Okay, more than once. Do that to this more than once. You know, there might be an opportunity to take another flattening flake later. So I got less than a minute to finish up, and then I'll move on to something else for the next video for today. hitting that very, very, very hard. You have to learn to hit very, very, very hard in a controlled way. Because what did we learn in previous videos? This is a sport. You have to learn to control your force, the forces that are being used. A lot of times you got to build up muscle memory. I tried to do another Levallois flake. It's kind of sort of, but this is how you make one of those Levallois points. See that point? Except this little bulb of, not bulb, this platform is a little bit too large. All right, if it wasn't so large, that's how you make a Levallois point. You don't strike it from down here in line with the point. You strike it from the side to make one of these. Remember that. When they teach you, you strike from the base this way on a ridge, it's wrong. You strike from the side and capture the ridge in this manner, so it becomes flat. If you strike from this side, this is curved. It's curved, which makes it useless as a point. All right? This, you just need to trim that off, and it's a Levallois point. Okay, this is how you make them. All right. One more strike. The sun's creeping in, so I got to move in a little bit anyway. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, very brisk, hard hit. And it's a biface. And I could probably show you some translucency if the light was right. Nice and translucent, kind of root beerish, and very tough. Okay.